Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very brief and impromptu video on my part. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you all had a good, enjoyable, and, if necessary, serene weekend. I had an okay weekend, relatively quiet, although I still had a couple of bits and bobs to do, but sort of kept it all nicely paced, if you like. And before you know it, you're already hitting Monday and speeding towards the end of the year, it seems, because blimey, we're already nearly in mid-September. I just wanted to bring you just a quick video, really to make more of an announcement than anything else. I normally would talk about a couple of bits and bobs here or there, or what's on my mind or whatever. I mean, I could talk all day about things that are worth, thinking about, challenging, things that we experience on a day-to-day basis, stuff we can't get our heads around because it appears so bizarre or comes over as so weird and whatever. But I will not bother today because I've had quite a busy morning / afternoon with mixed outcomes, if you like. The day started quite well. For those who don't know, and not that I want to divulge too much because it's boring, to be frank, but I do have to undergo some regular kind of things at a clinic in Bournemouth, or outside of Bournemouth actually, in a place called Christchurch. And that involves getting transport there and that sort of thing. And sometimes the transportation services work fine and smoothly, and sometimes the planning for those services leave a lot to be desired. The crews who run them are absolutely fine, they're great. And the clinic itself where I go to in Christchurch is also absolutely fine, totally great, no problems at all. I've always been seen to on time, at times, sometimes a bit earlier in fact. So I've been either very fortunate or they've just been very efficient there, whichever way around you want to see it. It's really how it should be, to be honest with you. The fact that I'm mentioning it shows you that it's a bit of an anomaly that things get seen to efficiently and on time, and the patient or customer, client, whatever you want to call us, is at the end of the day satisfied with the services they're receiving. Well, I've got to say I am, but the planning with the transportation and stuff like that is not great, and sometimes as a patient you're expected to then wait, and you're thrown a few very strange reasons as to why you should be all right with waiting too. So I'll give you a little example. I have what's called a wait and return service for my visits. That means basically that you get picked up. Sometimes you have to pick a few other people up along the way. Depends. You could be first in line. You might be mid pickup route for the crew, whatever. You might be the last one they're picking up, whatever. But you then get taken to the clinic. Then you have your appointment. And the nature of what I do there is actually quite swift and quick. So I'm in and out relatively quickly. So hence I book what's called a wait and return service. That means that the crew who take you there wait, as the name would suggest, and then return you home. And they tell you that there's normally maximum of a 20-minute window. So let's say your appointment was at 11:15. They will wait for you until 25 to 12, give or take a few minutes. If they're not under too much pressure, they'll even wait a bit longer than that. But that is normally the time frame. Like today, I arrived, I was out by 11:25, right? But the problem with this one today was this particular crew were told they couldn't wait for me. They had to go off and deal with other things. And I appreciate I'm not the only person who needs help and support. Of course not. There are lots of people in my situation worse off than me, in fact. So I'm absolutely not complaining on that part. The thing that frustrates me the most is the communication. First of all, the lacking thereof. And secondly, when communication is in place, it's often with a hint of condescending on their part, almost a bit bossy, a bit like a teacher you know, telling the school child off for not doing their homework or handing it in on time. That kind of attitude, which, to be honest with you, absolutely infuriates me. I cannot stand it. Um, so I was told, for example, in no uncertain terms, that well, I wasn't told anything. This was what was said to me, but I was told something reading between the lines, and that was that, well, the service is for free. Okay, so if it's for free, does that mean it's not for free? By the way, that's a totally different issue. She doesn't obviously understand the concept of taxes and how they work and how they finance our services. She thinks that you have to pay the driver in cash, or does that then not mean it's free or is free or whatever? I don't know. But again, like I say, it's those hidden little digs that you get given along the way. You know, as if to say, well, just be glad you're getting any help at all, young man, kind of thing. You know, I've also been told you look all right to me. We've had worse. I've been told that as well, and things like this. It's just attitudes and the way these things are communicated that really, really infuriate me. What was interesting was that I spoke to one of the crews actually last week, and I've had the same guys now for a few journeys, and he was saying to me he had a run-in with these very planning companies. There's a few of them. They outsource them, right? I'll come to that in a second. But he said the end of the conversation was he literally said to them, you know, we don't work for Amazon here. You know, we're not transporting goods and parcels. We're transporting patients. We're dealing with people's lives. And there is more to it than just physical ailments. It has to do also with mental health, which is a thing. Peace of mind is a thing. You know, if you've got to go somewhere and be seen to for a particular thing, then you want to have the peace of mind to know that you're going to be leaving there okay, relatively on time, or at least kept up to date with what's going on so that you know where you stand. You know, it's all about, you know, like I said before, communication, because it's absolutely key. There's nothing worse than not being told what's going on and just being left there to stew. So anyway, and it reminded me of, you know, this word that is very important that I'm sure everybody that watches this video will be able to relate to, and that is accountability, or the lack of accountability. Who do you go to complain or to raise a point or to make them aware? Try and get things changed, try and make them aware so that next time they have a staff meeting, maybe it can be discussed or done better next time or whatever. Is it done and structured in such a way that that can never happen, that you know, any complaints procedure will just eventually dissipate into nothingness or drop off the edge of a metaphoric cliff, all that sort of stuff. You know, I just recently got a book actually called The Unaccountability Machine, and it's a very, very fascinating book. I haven't really read it through properly yet, but I'll get back to you on that because I think it describes it very well, how organizations are set up in such a way that, you know, you can't then grasp the person or the people or the department or whatever who's actually responsible for a certain thing happening, not happening, going wrong or whatever. And I just thought I would tie that in with what I was just saying about how my day started today. So yes, I got seen to and all the rest of it, and the clinic thing was absolutely fine. But the bad thing about it was that I was literally asked to wait over 2 hours for my return transport, because the wait and return, they don't officially do, I was told on the phone. And I couldn't even call the NHS transport number. I had to call a different number, a different company. And those two companies, they actually don't directly, allegedly communicate direct with each other. So I have to call them, then get off the phone, and then call them, and then get off the phone, and then talk to the PA woman or the secretary in the clinic to see what she can do, etc., etc. So it's the patient, client, customer who has the runaround, and they wash their hands of all responsibility. I can't help you, I'm afraid. I don't have direct details. I can't send an SMS text to your phone, I'm afraid. I don't have these facilities at hand at my PC. I've been told all sorts of things to show me that they're the wrong person to talk to. One thing they do always tell me, however, just to round this very, very boring story off, although I do think it's got quite a bit of validity and importance, is you're always referred to going online. And then when you say, well, I can't go online at the moment, they look at you like you just grown a second nose out the side of your head or something. So yeah, that put me in a bit of a sort of a mood today, I'll be honest with you. The end of it all was they ended up getting me a taxi because they saw sense and thought that it wasn't a great idea that someone who's just come out of treatment should be waiting around for over 2 hours so they can just get back home. Absolute madness. This is not the first time it's happened either. But yeah, I thought I would just bring that to you because they are the sorts of things that people, not just myself, but lots of other people have to deal with on a regular basis. And yet when you challenge them on the phone, you're warned of you not raising your voice. You know, you're warned of this stuff right from the get-go. When you call up, straight away you've got a computerized voice asking you to behave yourself, and that they employ a zero tolerance policy, and aggressive behavior won't be tolerated, and the call is recorded for training purposes, but it's recorded. And all that sort of stuff, you know. I mean, you're so hemmed in that you're already potentially stressed before you've even spoken to somebody. And you haven't even got an added treatment yet for whatever it is that you're going for to get looked after, maintained, whatever. But there we go. A little snippet of a day in the life of me, Sven, from Bournemouth. On that note of Sven in Bournemouth, I'd just like to also bring to you the announcement that there will be, of course, a Flat Earth Social coming up on Tuesday, the 24th of September. It is this month. It's quite early in the month because the following Tuesday would then be October. So it's always the last Tuesday of the month. At 7 p.m. in the Bridge House Hotel in Ferndown, a venue I've never been to before because I've had problems with illness over the last few months. And so since the social moved to this venue, I've not been there. So this is going to be my first time going there. And the reason why I will be going there is because it'll actually be me hosting it. So please do come along and show your support. I won't be doing a presentation per se, but there will be conversations had and there will be opportunities to have a bit of a Q&A and see where everyone's at with various topics. Although it is a Flat Earth Social, the idea behind it, a bit like when we did the Global Eye tour a few years ago throughout Europe, was that, you know, it's the lie itself. There are lots of things that are connected with all of this, and when you get an understanding of it, then it opens up the doors to further understanding, you know, the charades and the smokes and mirrors that are placed before us every single day, you know, every single day. And of course, when you question them, you then get looked at and you know, pointed out. So yeah, that's the 24th of September, Tuesday the 24th of September at 7 p.m. at the Bridge House Hotel in Ferndown on the fringes of Bournemouth. Do come and join me there. I will probably grab the microphone and stand at the front and talk a little bit, but I can tell you now that I won't be just fixing myself or fixating on a particular topic. It will go to and fro, but I would like it also to be a little bit interactive with the audience, and not just present something and then have a Q&A. I'd like it to be a bit more encompassing than that. So it could be anything and everything from what went down over the last few years, which have then resulted in where we are at now, to old world things, to stuff in the sky, to stuff in our foods, to the fact that we've been lied to about the very realm that we live on and its form and shape, stuff that's hidden to us from the schools, questioning school teachers. Are they liars? Are they in on it? No, of course they're not. The significance of flying monkeys, you know, that would be people who are carrying out, if you like, the agenda on behalf of the powers that are without even realizing that they're doing so. You know, because that's how that works. Only very, very few know what's really going on. And you certainly don't ever get to see them on your TV screens. But anyway, yeah, so I'd be looking forward to that. I hope you can make it on that date. I'm going to give a bit of thought of how to start it, but the main gist of it will really be that we all interact a little bit and see where we're at, and have a conversation or two about lots of different various things. So there you go. So on that note, I will bid you all farewell, and I will say I'll see you all soon. Some of you much, much sooner. Take it very easy. and ta-ta for now.